Right, everyone, here we are with ticker symbol HYLN, Hyliion Holdings Corp. And before we jump into this chart, I want to say welcome to all my first-time viewers and investors. Welcome to my channel, Invest for Tomorrow. To all my subscribers, welcome back, and let's jump into this chart. So, Hyliion Holdings Corp has been in a slight bullish recovery here, pulling further away from the 50-day moving average and bringing itself up to newer highs. So, it hit these lows down here of 1810. I had stated that was a very important number. It was touched twice. So I want every investor to keep those numbers in mind. And then now also the highest point that it reached, which we're going to look at in just a second, and pay close attention to how this stock is going to react the next couple of hours, leading on to tomorrow and the next coming days. The 50-day moving average, super important. It is 2102. As long as we're above it, we're in bullish territory. The moment we're below it, we're in bearish territory. So I want to say welcome to all my first-time viewers and investors. Welcome to my channel, Invest for Tomorrow. And to all my subscribers, welcome back. And I want to say thank you to all investors and viewers that have been participating in the trivia questions. And I will be posting, well, not posting, stating, and it will be posted in this video, pretty much, the trivia questions at the end of the video. So I'm going to go ahead and ask a trivia question. And it's always in regards to what's important and going on right now with the chart and with the significance of where it's heading and what could happen next. So I like doing that because I want you guys to be able to go ahead and grasp some of the key things for today's video that you guys want to keep in mind. And even in previous videos, like the last trivia question was, what was the lowest point reached in this bearish run? Why was it important, and how many times did it get touched? Well, it was 1810 and it got touched twice. And why was it important? Because if it broke through that, this would start to hit newer lows. And if it pulled away from it, this was going to get on its way back to the 50-day moving average. And from there on forth, get more leverage for the bulls. And we're seeing it clearly. So 1810 is still an important number for the days to come. So the trivia questions is for you guys to keep in mind certain numbers, certain cues, and memorize them. And also for any viewer that missed it, as fellow investors and colleagues that are all watching and viewers, you guys are helping other people as well by seeing it down below in the comments. So I really appreciate that from you guys. So stay tuned for today's trivia question. So again, support was used and the bulls actually moved away from it and continued their run. They actually started hitting newer highs, and we're currently at 23.35. Now, there's a slight bearish candlestick here. So we're right now at 610. The market closes at 8. So this could be leveling off, or it could slightly dip, or it can turn around and the bulls can continue to bounce off of that. But right now, this has been a bullish run. You can see that resistance was broken, and then it continued to run from that point forward. And we had talked about yesterday the highest point reached. That was super important, and it was up here at this point. And if it didn't break through it, it would actually start to hit lows again, or it would be rejected, and it was going to be much trouble for the bulls to break through it. Now, they touched it today, and you can see that they got rejected slightly above it, and it started to bring itself back down, and then the bulls reappeared, and they brought this to new highs. So great job here for the bulls, but the question is, could they maintain this momentum? And we're going to look at what's important for them to maintain this momentum. So we're going to move our resistance to its new location and our support. This is going to be a little bit broader than yesterday's because it has not been that narrow, and this bullish run has been pretty quick. So this is going to be a little bit broad, and we're going to look at this as it shows us, and then I'm also going to break it down a little bit so you guys can have some other points of reference to kind of chop up these areas and pay close attention to them accordingly. So our new support level and our new resistance level. So let's get this to the T here. Now it's a little bit above. There we go. So in between all of this, there's a slight leveling off, and that's like a midway point here in this bullish run. So if this was to go in a downward direction and this is too broad for you to wait, or you want to kind of be able to pay very close attention to what's going on, then one of the lowest points before the bullish run continued was 2238. If you want to write that down, 2238 is a super important number, and that just lets you know where this could be heading. But in between 2238, excuse me, and the support, there's still that room that you're still in bullish territory. So this can actually be recovered by the bulls to bring it back up. So keep that in mind. That doesn't mean that because it broke through that, this is going to fall to newer lows and it's going to get deeper into the red and so forth. So right now, that's what's important. And I want you guys to keep that in mind and pay close attention to it. But that's not like the support level that lets you know that this is getting closer to the 50-day moving average. But it is a indicator of where this is hanging out and what could happen. So if you guys want to break it down to the T, then 2238 is a good point of reference and kind of a midway point in between the resistance level and the support. Now the 50-day moving average, like I stated earlier, is 2102. As long as we're above it, the bulls are in control. The moment we're below it, the bears are in control. For the bulls to continue this momentum, which is super important, they need to break through 2417 so that this momentum can continue and that the 50-day moving average does not catch up to it. So for the bulls to continue this momentum, they need to break through 2417, turn that into a support, pull away from it, reach newer highs and new resistance levels. So why am I emphasizing that? If this does not move in an upward direction, it moves sideways or slightly dips, even though it's still in bullish territory. This 50-day moving average, as you can see, has gotten in an upward direction and it will become steeper over time and catch up to the price. If it catches up to the price, that's giving more leverage to the bears and giving them a chance to break through it and get back into bearish territory. So for the bulls, I want to emphasize they need to break through 2417, turn that into a support, pull further away from the 50-day moving average in an upward direction. So keep that in mind. Pay close attention to how this is reacting and how quickly is it moving closer to it, and does it create a support above it to pull further away. So that's very important for the bulls. On the other hand, we have our support level. There's a few support levels to bear in mind if this breaks through the 50-day moving average. And we have two here, but for now, I don't think the volatility would go this low. If it does, I mean, there's the point, 2053. But the other one I would tell you to pay close attention to, which is the first support level in bearish territory, is 2086. 2086 is important. Write it down so that you guys can pay close attention to that number. If it breaks through that, the bears have accomplished breaking through the 50-day moving average and getting into bearish territory. But before all of that, our most important support level here is 2168. Now, if 2168 is broken through, we are still in bullish territory. You have that window between 2168 and the 50-day moving average to pay close attention to how this stock is behaving, because we're still in bullish territory. It's not in bearish territory, but the bears are getting closer to their goal, which is bringing this closer to the 50-day moving average, crossing it and pulling further away from it in a downward direction. But the first step for the bears to get anywhere closer to those numbers and that area is breaking through 2168. So I want to emphasize to all investors, pay close attention to the behavior of this stock and how it's reacting if it breaks through support, which is 2168. As always, if you found this video helpful and informative, please do so and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the bell to turn on all notifications, not miss a single video that I post. Share this with your friends and community, and don't forget to hit that like button to let me know you watched this video. So, trivia question for today. Today's trivia question is, what is the most important point for the bulls currently in this chart, and why is it the most important point for them to break through it? What is it on the chart, obviously number-wise, and why is it important for them to break through that point? And that point, what does it signify for the bulls? It's super important for them. And why is it important? And what is that point that the bulls need to break through? And why is it significant? As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.